You can come closer. I know you're there. You can come closer than that. I won't bite. There we go. I have to say, you seem rather dumbstruck. Is this your first time seeing a kitsune? I can't blame you. Even those used to supernatural creatures like myself are usually astonished at the number of my tails. It's pretty flattering. You can stare at them if you like. I'm used to it now. Oh, so I am the first kitsune you've seen? That's strange. I could have sworn you seemed familiar. But oh well. I'm honored to be your first. Kitsune you've met, that is. So, what brings you to this neck of the woods? I don't see many humans around here. Not this far in, anyway. Oh, an apprentice mage, are we? Well, that's rather impressive. By human standards, anyway, I think. It's been a while. Let me guess. You're trying to make a contract with a familiar, right? I mean, I can't imagine why else you'd come here. Unless you really wanted to meet a supernatural creature just for fun. That's what I thought. So let me guess. You were searching for a kitsune in particular to be your familiar, right? No werewolf or lamia or whatnot would do for you? How did I know? It's written all over you. And I don't just mean the grin on your face. You see, I can tell from your aura. Everyone's aura is a unique identifier, much like a fingerprint. And you have the exact same aura as my old master back when they were still alive. They were a bit obsessed with having a kitsune familiar, which means you must be too. Yes, that's right. You're the same person as my old master. In other words, you're their reincarnation. I don't have a single doubt about that. Your aura is an exact match for theirs. Oh, it's been so long. I was worried it was just the nostalgia, but your aura is just like I remember it. It's so sweet, with the consistency of syrup to match. On the other hand, it feels fresh, like mist on my skin. And the fragrance is fruity, but not overpowering. If only you were a bit more skilled at magic, you would be able to experience it too. But, oh well, you'll learn in time. It took me a while myself back then to learn how to detect your aura so thoroughly. Months of training alongside you under our pact. But it was so worth it when I could finally experience our bond on an entirely new level. I can tell you might be a bit skeptical. You met a kitsune in a forest and suddenly she claims to be your familiar from a past life. I can't think of anything sketchier than that. But I can prove it. Prove that I really was your familiar. Your looks might have changed, but your body language is still the exact same. I'm sure other things are the same too. I know, we can do a little test. I'll show you that I have knowledge that I could only know if I knew you in a past life. I know things about you that you don't even know about yourself. For instance, look over here. See these bushes and the berries on them? There's a blueberry, a red one, and a black one. Do you know what they're called? Really? You don't? That's really ironic. You always used to poke fun at me for forgetting their names, you know. It was a bit of a running gag between us. But I'm pretty excited to get to be the one to teach you this time. Here, if you try the blue one, you'll find that it's your favorite fruit in the entire world. Which is a bit strange, since it's not exactly, popular. But that just makes your taste more refined, in my opinion. I developed a taste for it myself, just so I could be more like you. And if you try the red one, you'll find that it tastes fine. Probably. You always said it was a bit inconsistent in flavor. On some days it was almost as good as the blue ones. Maybe try a few batches to see if you can find a good one. And lastly, there's the blackberries. I don't think you'll want to try that one more than once. You always said it was your least favorite and you had no idea how people ate them. Whenever you wanted to describe something as disgusting, you said it tasted like the blackberry. Well, alright, let me pick a few for you. Okay, here we go. Give them a bite and let me know just how right I am. See? I could tell I was right just from your facial expressions. And also that you spat out the black one. I'll have to pick some more of those blue ones for you, won't I? You really went to town on them. So, do you believe me now? I mean, what are the chances I'd guess all three correctly? Not to mention knowing about your Kitsune obsession. Oh dear, you poor thing. You're giving me that look you always did when you were starved to touch my tails. I know from your perspective, maybe you just met me, but for mine, there's no one I'm closer to. So here, go ahead. I'd be comfortable with you touching them. I'd like that, actually. Fluff them all you want. If anything, I'd be happy if you did. Oh, it's been so long since I got to see that glorious expression of yours. You always drooled like a baby when you touched my tails. Don't worry though, I'm not making fun of you. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. I'm just glad that they make you happy. Especially when that thing is me. Well, my tails rather, but you get the idea. I always missed these moments. Every night we would fall asleep cuddling, and your focus would be on my tails, whether you hugged them or used them as a pillow. I used to joke that they were your tails with how obsessed you were with them and how much comfort they gave you, especially on your deathbed. In your final moments, you were holding my tails. I really missed you. All these years without you, I've been so alone. Humans don't live nearly as long as a Kitsune does. I always knew that. But I was in denial. Even when your skin grew wrinkly and your hair grew gray, I was still in denial. I'd tell myself that you had a few more years left with me at the very least. Then as reality hit me, the rationalization changed to a few more months, then a few more weeks, a few more days, until finally I lied to myself saying you surely had at least a few more minutes with me. But then you passed away right in front of my eyes. Now you're here in front of me again, and I still don't think I can come to terms with what happened. I've always loved you too much for my own good, Master. I can call you that, can't I? Master? I always loved calling you Master. It made our bond feel real, our pact, our connection. Say, I want to feel that connection with you again. I know I might be rushing things a bit here, but can we? Can we make a pact right here? Right now? I don't want to suffer a single second more of this distance from you. We've been separated for so long. We have so much to make up for. So, shouldn't we start over as soon as possible? That's great. Oh, Master. I could just get drunk on your words. You always knew how to make me happy. We'll finally be together again. Just the two of us. What? What do you mean it's not going to be just the two of us? What do you mean you want to get another familiar other than just me? Aren't I enough? I'm super powerful from all the training in your past life. My flames are hot enough to melt through steel. My illusions are real enough to touch. I'm in the top percentile of familiars, and in time, I'll get even stronger. If there's something that's not good enough about me, I'll change it for you. Is it how I look? Nowadays I can maintain my illusions indefinitely. I've been practicing with making illusions of you after all, so I can look however you want me to. No? You always said I was the only one you needed. Every day, you'd assure me of that. Forget it. What's done is done. It looks like I can't change your mind. So let's just hurry up and perform the pact. You do have the magic inks with you, right? The silver and gold ones, to sign the contract and form the pact. Excellent. It looks like your tuition wasn't a waste of money. Here, give me the gold one. What? No. The familiar uses the gold ink to sign. The master uses the silver ink. Well then, your teachers were wrong. Listen, the familiar uses the more expensive ink. It's a show of respect towards them. What kind of familiar would want to form a contract with a master who doesn't respect them, after all? You're still unsure? What about the purifying properties of silver? It's symbolic of the purity of the master's intentions, ensuring that their familiar can entrust themselves to their new master. That is why the master uses the silver ink. No, I'm sorry, but that's wrong. The mnemonic device goes like this. The master uses silver ink to form the link, while the familiar uses gold, most expensive of all, to show they are treasured as a doll. Okay, I don't know how to put this politely, so I'm just going to say it frankly. Which one of us has lived longer? Which one of us has more life experience? And which one of us has actually performed a familiar's pact before? Thank you. Here I go. You have a pretty signature, I know. Now, you sign it with the silver ink. And there. Yes, you're right. That is indeed the familiar insignia that just appeared on your body. And the master insignia that appeared on mine. I'm so very sorry to have tricked you like this, but you didn't leave me any other choice. It's not really your fault, though. You're still just an apprentice mage. There's so much you don't know. You're bound to make mistakes. But it's my duty as your senior to set them straight. I'm not going to let you be miserable because your fairy familiar pulled the 5th prank on you this week. Or because your Neko is once again being an insufferable little... Well, you know how they are. But I can't let you suffer like that, Master. Well, I guess I'm the Master now. So now, you won't be able to make a contract with anyone else. Not to mention, you'll be under my authority. I'll try not to abuse it. Aw, you poor thing. You look like you're still in shock. Is this all too hard to process? It's okay. You don't have to think too hard about it. You don't have to do anything, really. Now that we're together and connected as one again, I'll take care of everything. I still have a lot of wealth saved up from your last life. I can treat you well, spoil you even. I'll buy you all of those blueberries you like. You won't have to work a day. You can just stay inside and fluff my tails as much as you want. It'll be paradise. And not just for you, but for me too. Because although a kitsune lives for such a very long time, that extreme lifespan can be a curse if it's not spent alongside the right person. But for me, you're that person. Even fate must agree, since they brought you to me more than once. And now, we can finally live happily ever after. Well, Until you die again, anyway. But then I'll just find you in your next life. And then when you die again, I just have to find you again. And so on. I'll never let death keep us apart ever again. I'll never let anything keep us apart again. We'll always be together. Forever.